I am Mevlut Tuna from FND. Today we will be looking managing resources and effective resource modeling in Asta Powerproject. When we are looking to agenda, what we will be doing today and how resources will be fit in our planning process and organizing our company resource library, more developing and customizing the Asta Powerproject for our company structure. And we will be looking at our limits for the resources and getting them on the histograms, looking for the resource breakdown structure and for our availability. The most important part today, we will be focusing resource modeling and using the productivity rates. This is the most important to have more margin from your projects. And also we'll be looking to task work without using resources. We will be modeling and we will be using our productivity rates and getting them some advanced reports and showing some integration and getting a capacity reports. Who we are when we look at that Asta Powerproject is for project portfolio resource management software, and it is used over 80,000 people worldwide. It is available in 9 languages, and the most effective way to using it is in concurrent licensing model. And as a FND, we are supporting, we are providing training and consulting to our clients and our partners. When we are looking at Asta Powerproject, and it is worthwhile to use, and some of the projects, the London Eye, the Eden project, Jumeirah Park, and this information is available on our webpage, so you can find anytime. When we are looking at Asta Portfolio Management System, we can have our portfolio, we can have our multiple projects in one view, and we can analyze them, resource analyzing, capacity analyzing on one histogram, and this will refer to our portfolio data, and also this can be specific to our project data, even it can be specific to our selected tasks data, and also we can show the costs, resource costs on histograms to more analyzing. In the project details, also we can use it. We can get some advanced reports, cumulative reports. Also we can get the S-curves based on the resources as well as cost. And we can have our capacity planning. I'm saying this because if you are new in the Asta Powerproject, you will know better the basics, and these are the implementation steps. Let's look at our today's topic. Let's start with the Asta Powerproject. Asta Powerproject you can use in enterprise version as well as standalone system. When you start the Asta Powerproject, interface will come in an easy view, so that will make easily managing your projects. And let's look at that resource, how we can look at our resources and the simple view. And let's say that, okay, when we are looking at Asta Powerproject, on the left part, we can have our spreadsheet, and we can add our columns for the resource management, and whatever we will be doing on Gantt chart part, we will be able to do also on the table area. And when we would like to add the column, simply we can add, and into resource category, we can find our all required. If you are using the human resources or machinery, you will be able to use the efforts, and if you are using the materials, you will be able to use the quantity columns. But after you set up your tables, you can save it as a view, and let's look at in our view what we will have more. When you are looking to overall, After we set up our view, please see that when we are adding the column, and we will be able to see our resource types and how these resource types are coming. On the left part, we have our navigator part. Navigator will help you to assign or focusing on your specific part of the project. And when I am looking to my program level, I am seeing that procurement area as well as the building stage area. If I would like to focus on the building stage, now I am seeing the activities in building stage. And for the resource parts, please see that resource parts, and these resources can be directly handled in our library. And the Asta Powerproject has library like a books on toolbar. You can add insight, and actually you can fill and you can just to add your resources. We have permanent resources and consumable resources. Permanent resources means that people and machinery, when you use today, you will be able to use tomorrow as well. Consumable resources, it refers materials like bricks, concretes, or any kind of materials which will consume in time. So why we are separating? Because they have different calculations and different modeling types. To adding a new resource library, going to Library Explorer and creating simply right click and using the mouse, you can create your company resource breakdown. We can say that here our engineers, and you can create your more detailed, and you can develop your library, and in the library you can set up the properties. What we have here, let's say that site engineer. When we are looking the overall, actually what we can put more, we can put details, email address for these resources. We can assign calendar for these resources. And for example, you have the consultant, and this consultant working 2 days in a week. So you can set up calendar, and the task for this resource can follow the resource. So this can be important in some case. In some case, the resource can follow the task. And you can assign cost and income rates for this resource. So when you assign on your project, so it will be directly calculated as a cost or as well as income. And in the modeling type, which we are going to focus, and we can model here in our library. So when we assign on our tasks, directly it will calculate our modeling types. When you are looking at our modeling types, non-model, I can recommend you to use in some parts of the project. And if you are looking to more profit in the project, you can model and you can have more realistic schedule. And when we are looking at effort means that man hours or machine hours and work on a location. And if we know the amount of the work, we can use this modeling type, and we have more, and we will make the samples. There is calculated part, which means that the system will calculate for you. System can calculate for you duration, task duration, or number of resources, number of people or machine. This is called allocation. And effort, it can calculate for you the total effort. There is also balancing. This is allowing when you change the duration of your task, it will enable to balance your criteria, such as it can reduce or increase effort, it can reduce allocation, number of resources, it can reduce or increase these selected parameters. Okay, you can set up this on your library, or you can set up after you make assignment onto task. Now let's look at that in our project. When we are looking to overall our project, we can also bring our Gantt chart part, and these are our tasks, code assigned tasks. And now when we are looking at our resource numbers, please see that here the numbers of the resources, and also in the middle how many days these resources will be worked in our project. When I am looking to my first task, let's focus on the first task, and for this how many electricians and other resources I need, I can simply come and type on my table, and this will be directly showing and assigning on the task. But to have more visibility on our tasks assignments, and I can see now in the histograms. Now please see that first part, and when I bring my histogram at the bottom, and you can see that this area on the left part, I am selecting to my resource type, and anytime I can change. This is referring to my library, and as you see that my library which I created already, and also the existing ones. Here in the second part, we are able to select our resource, our reporting type. We can create new histogram reports as well. And here the legend, and now let's look at the legend. Blue line, it is telling that it is our availability. And it means that we set up this blue line 5, availability is 5. For overall our project duration, we have 5 resources. And number of men which we assign in this proportion, and it is the 3. And I can handle this on my table area. I can say that it is the 4, and it is directly filling on our histogram. Also, I can assign more, 6, and now system will warn me with our selected color in the red color here. It is showing that now I have more assignment than my capacity in this case. And when you would like to analyze, if you, for example, if you start this activity later on, let's say that there is some delay and you would like to start on next day, and as you see that the histogram also will be moved. And from, if you are using any other system, project management system, you can be aware of this kind of histograms, and I will be showing more advanced. And whatever you do, it will reflect on the histograms, and what you see on the histograms, you can get them onto Excel. So if you would like to analyze further on the Excel, or if you would like to get report, you can get them directly onto Excel. And you can have multiple histograms. Please see that this is histogram for the second resources, or in one histogram you can make changes anytime. Instead of this resource, you can use another resource, and this is the quickly analyzing in one histogram, just to changing your resource, and it will be showing here. This is for quickly analyzing. And at the bottom we have more histograms, and you can get this kind of report based on the time and the histograms. And at the bottom we have stack histogram, and this sessions actually helping you to be aware of the capacity what Asta can do, and later on when you would like to do the same similar things, we can help you. And now this is the stack histogram. Now it is showing the all. You see that all, and showing that brown color electricians and blue color, all referring to our resources. So we can have on this way multiple resources on histogram. And this was the one of the project, and later on if we need, we can come to this project. And let's look at the and you can get also this preparation into Primavera part, so you can, or in Microsoft project part, you can see the differences, how it is easy in Asta and how it is easy in other systems. You can just analyze further. let's look at the resource modeling. The reason for it, as we said before, we would like, if you would like to have more margin, you need to manage your resources, if you have resources actually, or you need to manage your cash flow more efficiently. And now at the moment, let's focus on our resources part. And on the left part, just we put the name where we will be focusing. And you can get this file from us, and you can look at more. And in the notes part, you can find for what reason we are using these resource modeling types. Let's look at the permanent resource, which was people or machinery. Let's look at the non-modeled. And if we use the non-modeled resource type, actually this resource will be following our task. And on the Gantt chart part, we can see that this resource, let's open also our resource bars. And here it is the difference than other systems. You can have your activity bars. This is, you are familiar. And also you can have resource bar. So separated than your activity, you can plan your resources. And this is enabling more advanced modeling. And now let's look at that. More fields, we have the columns, and this is the resource architect. And when you extend the duration of your task, you see that one architect, it is following your task. This is the simply where we can find the modeling. And at the beginning in the library, I was showing that. Now here the same. When you double click on your assignment, and you will find your resource. And let's look at how we are going to assign resource to our task. And let's delete the resource first. And also in our table, we will find that there is no properties for the resource. And let's say this is our activity, and we would like to assign the resource. And to assigning resource, at the beginning we were typing in the table spreadsheet part, but you can also assign resources drag and drop mode. And if you are already user of the Asta, you will see that most of your library items is drag and drop. For example, I am going to assign architects dragging and dropping on my task. Please see that here. And when I leave it, and now I assign one architect for this task. Please see that one architect, it is already assigned. If I have settings for the modeling in library, so this task will directly adopt it. But if it is not already modeled properly, and it will be taking later on, you can change after you assign on the task. Okay, and assignment, it is simple drag and drop. Let's look at now effort on allocation model. And this model, please see that the name, let's look at the resource first. First one, it is our task. At the bottom, we have the resource bar. And the modelings, non-modeled, we say that it is working along the task and it is not calculating anything. And effort on allocation, this means that for the first word, what you see effort, it means that you know the effort and you would like to get system to calculate other items. And also, if you select the work, it means that you know the total work. So these are helping you to recognize the modeling types and making more simplified. And saying that effort, you know the effort, and here on the calculated part, we have allocation, number of people, number of items, and balancing. It will help us when you amend your activity duration, this will be balanced. Let's see on our table what we will see that. And now let's say that architects, 3 architects, let's make it more smaller. And let's look at the right side of it. And now we see that 3 of them allocated on our tasks. Okay. And now let's say that system calculates for you the allocation. When you change the now F4, actually system should calculate for you the number of resources which you need. And let's say that this task will take not 240 hours. We will say that this will take 300 hours task. And now please see that the allocation is changing. If I say that it will take, let's take back, let's say that 2 times more, 480 hours. And now please see that allocation, number of people are changing. Here also you can directly see that the number of people are changing. So this is helping you to, and we can see on the task as well how it is changing and what is changing. And now it is settled, effort on allocation. It means that you know effort, system calculates for you the number of resources. And please see that activity duration will not change, 480 hours, and only the assigned resources will change. So in this sample, you know the total duration of your task, and you know the effort, how many hours required, and exactly it is calculating how many resources will be needed here. And here there is balancing allocation. This is only working when you make changes on the Gantt chart part, when you change duration of your task. Let's say that this task, it is a 10-day, at the bottom also you can follow, it is 10-day task, and when you reduce the duration of your task, it means that you will need more resources to doing the changing the scope and making earlier. It will be meaning that with more resources. And now I am reducing my resource, my activity. Please see that on the pop-up also you see that. And let's say 5 days, and it should be assigned 12 resources. And we can at the same time get the histogram, and we can get these changes on the histogram like at the beginning. And the balancing only helping you when you make changes on the duration of the task. There are more options. You can undo anytime. Let's undo, Control Z. It will help. And calculate it if you select the duration. So what will happen? It will be changing the duration of your task. And now it means that when you change the duration, let's say that 200 hours, okay, for the effort, and now your activity duration will be changed. And in this case, it is locking the resource number which you assign, 6, and it is just changing with the same resources the activity duration. So if you know that your limited resources you assign on the task, later on the task duration will be calculated. Maybe this is good sample in your real case projects, and you know the total effort still, and you say that your task will take 500 hours, but you know also your capacity, you can assign only 6 people at that time. And let's see now, when you say that you can assign only 1 person and your task duration, now let's look at the task, it is the 62 days. What you need to do, maybe you need to reduce your scope 100 hours, and now your task will take 12 days. And if I assign 10 hours, maybe it will take 1 day, because one person working 8 hours in a day. When I select that, my task will take 1 day, 2 hours. So you will have exactly your realistic duration of the task. And this model, it is nice to use. Okay, and let's look at the other one. We have more settings, but let's look at the more in this short time, and work on allocation type of the task. And this is good because the reason productivity rates. What is the productivity rate actually? In Asta, the term, it is called work rate, but in the reality we are using productivity rate. Productivity rate means that the amount of work performed in a particular time. You know your people in 1 hour, how much work they can complete. So this is called as a productivity rate. Okay, and let's look at our task firstly. And this is our task, and now we are going to 4 days task. start finish dates, effort 64 hours, and this refers to our resource assignment. And in this case, if we know our total work, and please see that modeling of the task work on allocation, it means that you know the total work, total amount of the work, and now we can say that 400 square meter, for example. But you know that your productivity rate from the resources, and when you are looking to this resource, actually in one day you can complete 50 square meter. So actually it should take 8 days. When I simply calculate 400 square meter work, 50 square meter daily if I can manage, by one person I will need 8 days, right? If I say that I will need one person, I have one person, and now this task should take 8 days. And if I say that I can assign 2 people for this task, and now it is reducing to 4 days. And what you can calculate from here, if you increase your scope, it wasn't the 400 square meter, it is the 800 square meter, and the system will calculate for you how many days will take to complete this task with your total resource, 2 people. So you don't need to worry about how the schedule you need to adjust, and if you model properly, and this will be helping you. And at the same time, you don't need to do this setting on each task. In library, we can develop it, and when you assign on the task, actually it will take the duration directly. And let's say that this is the one resource, and we can delete this resource. This is the important part, so I will just to settle on my library, and I will be showing it how we can assign on the task, and it will be directly adopting the duration. And in this case, but we will know also we will change our work in this case. And now let's say that we will be assigning architects, and let's develop in our library, and we can select our work, and we will know the work on the task. And here let's look at how we are going to plan. Now we know that works, which we will be, and we can now forget this part, and maybe seeing too many things can make it complex for you. Okay, now system will calculate for me the duration, and when I change the duration of my task, it will be changing the allocation number of people. And here we have options like rate type. We say that productivity rate, the amount of work performed in a particular time. So we will know our capacity. We can say that daily, I know my capacity, and for per time unit, for per day, I will be managing by the architects, I will be managing the works, let's say 50 units. Okay, even I can select my units if you are using like a material. And the 50 units I will be managing. Okay, now I can go to my task. Now I already set up it, and I put to my productivity rate. This meaning was productivity rate, work rate, productivity rate. And assigning on the task, we can go to our task, and simply dragging and dropping, and we can assign it. And when we assign, please see that 50 productivity rates, it is already assigned, and you don't need to change here because you know your capacity. And in this case, you can change your units on the task. You can say that it will be 400 units. And now we can look at our task, and if it is the 600 units, what will be the changing? The duration is directly calculated. So when the duration is changed, this is the project management system. If there are links, when you reschedule, all the schedule will be adjusted. So this is on the one task we are showing, but think that you have 100 activity which is fit for this case. So the duration will be exactly increased or reduced based on your works. Okay, this was the work on allocation model, and we have work from task model type. And till now we use directly with the resources, and in this case work from task. And when we are looking at actually terms, we will understand now work is on the task, it is not on the resources. So you have below quantity, or without resource assignment you will be managing your task, how it will be. And now let's say there is no any resource. Please see that there is no any allocated resources. Okay, we have one task and saying that 5,000 square meter work, and now we are giving from the construction, but it is the same mentality for any industry. And in this case, when we are looking at task work, actually it can help you at the tendering stage, because you don't have already assigned resources, but you know the work, and the scope is 5,000 square meter. And when you are working for it, you can put to your work. Please see that at the moment there is this work refers the resource work, resource amount of work. This is referring to work, but it is on the task without resource assignment. This is the difference. And here this part will be related with the resource work, resource productivity rate. Now in this sample, when we are looking at, we will be using this work. It will take the work from the task. It means that at the beginning of the project, you just say that 5,000 square meter you manage, and for the work you don't have at the moment, but when you assign resource, let's assign resource, and now let's say that one resource here, resource name like workers, and when I am looking to overall, now when I select the modeling, please see that work from task. Okay, it will take what you did, what you assigned on the task at the beginning, at the below quantity calculation, and you assign the 5,000 square meter. It will directly adopt, so you don't need to changing it. And if you say that now your task work is changed 6,000 square meter, and now it will directly take your quantity. In this sample, let's do on this way. In our library, let's say that we develop some task work based resource. Let's say that site resources, and in this case, let's say that carpenters. And now I can set up that this resource, when it is assigned to task, it will take the work from the task. It means that task work, it will read your task work. Okay, and you know the capacity for, let's say that daily you will be managing 100, let's say that work rate per day, it will be 100 unit. It will be taking, and work rate will be, let me change it, balancing is not work rate, 100 units per day. You will take the 100 unit, and now what system will be doing for you? It will be calculating the duration. So when you assign on the task, it will be exactly calculating the duration of your task. You know your capacity, you know your bill of quantity from the beginning, and now you are at stage for the resource assignment. Okay, and now let's say that which one I made carpenters, I made the changes for the resource modeling, and now let's look at, I will be going to assign it on my task, and the 6,000 square meter, it should take 60 working days. So dragging and dropping on it, please see that it is assigning now, and now please see that productivity rate, it is the 100 directly took, and it calculated for my task and 60 days. And you don't need to calculate on Excel or somewhere. It is looking to your calendars, and it is exactly calculating how many days it will take, and this is the working days, considering the calendar, when it will start, when it will finish, we have already here. This cannot be 60 days, it should be more than 60 days because of the holiday times. And this is good for all stages in your project. At the initial stage, you use task work. Later, you are going to assign more resources. You can assign multiple resources. They can work here also. They can look at this task work. And when you change the allocation, you can change also the allocation. The duration can be adjusted properly. And let's look at the effort activity budgets. And in this short time, and this is when you have multiple resources, these resources can share the scope. And please see that we have 300 hours work, but these resources sharing the scope based on their assignments. And now in this case, please see that here they are working in different hours based on their assignments. Now if I say that, and for the first resource, for this one, I will be assigning more, let's say that 6, and the effort should be changed here. I will say that 6 resource, and now please see that they still working on the 300 hours work. The activity duration will not change, but they will share the effort, and they are from different category, different skills they have. And this is the other resource modeling type. We have modeling type on the quantities. It means that materials, and if you would like to model quantity the same way, and what is your quantity for the consumable resources, your productivity rate, and it will calculate for you how many days it will take. Generally, we are managing the time, so we will have realistic duration. If you would like to manage the resource numbers and capacity, you will be changing the modeling type at the beginning, and it will be directly calculating for you how many resources it will be required. And we have more samples. And do you have any questions for the modeling? Till now, maybe just you assign on the task, but here we have more settings which you can use in your projects. For any questions, please type it. And okay, I can get questions during this time. And now let's look at the more details how we can get progress. I will be showing in the multi-users. And we showed on one task, but now we can look at our portfolio. And Asta is enterprise system, so you can work on the same project at the same time if you are working on several projects. Now I am working as a locally, but you can share the same project with the colleagues, and based on your user rights, you can see your responsible area and you can make changes there. Or you can see at the same area, so you can work, and in a time also you can see the changes at the same time with the other users. Okay, now this is the one of our portfolio, and in Asta we call that left part navigator, and you can see your all projects, your divisions, and also on the right side your projects. And when I am looking at the overall, let's look at always looking construction, but let's look at some more. Okay, and in this case you can just having your portfolio, you can categorize your projects, and this is portfolio just to get the projects also on the Google Earth, and these are the capacities you can get report on Google Earth. And now what we are going to look, resource and margin. And now let's say that what we had and resources, this seems in our portfolio. Please see now, and you can select please see that your resource high level, which means that this is your company resources for all labors. And when you would like to get a report for the capacity, and this black line showing that this is your availability for all resources total. And here brown one, it is all labor plant, and there is the pending demand. We have also demand allocation, which means that at the beginning of the project manager can demand the resources and saying that this number of resources are required. This blue line indicates that. And as a resource manager, when the project goes to resource manager can allow resources, and this part refers that resource manager didn't assign resource yet. The reason that your capacity is limited, but project manager here requires more. So you can see which projects refer this. You can right click on this and you can exactly go and at which projects you need the resources. So in your reports, in your weekly meetings, monthly meetings, you can also look at this kind of reports. There are some questions coming and I will be explaining them. And also these resources can cost you, so you can have your cash flow from the cost. So this is not the project direct cost, this is the cost from the resources. Also you can have the monthly costs, you can have the cumulative cash flow. And for the capacity requirements, you can have more views. This will enable you to analyze more. For example, this is from the design discipline, and when we are looking at overall our capacity for all resources, but also we are seeing that here this resource is optimized. In Asta there is resource mode. When we are looking at our allocation tab, we will be finding also leveling the resources, and you can use the resource leveling, but in Asta on histograms you can manage, or you can even use line of balance method to optimize the resources and duration of tasks. These are the capacities, and these things, whatever you see here, you can print out. So whenever you would like to get this report on printed on the same version, you can print out these things. Okay, and now we can look at the more views, and when we are looking, also we can have our resource usage. These are more cumulative resources. Our capacity blue line, availability, and red one, it is all labors. Actually we are quite in trouble in this sample. And this can look at the portfolio, it can look at the directly to your project which you select. And this is the, for example, in the more detailed, if you are already Asta user, and you will find that in the histogram report properties for the graphs, and you have scope, all scope, or your view scope which you use to filter, and on your view what you have, or you can select the selection scope. It means that which project you select or which task you select, it will show assignment there. And I can say that for this report it will be showing only the selection scope. And now let's look at what we can see. And now please see that at the bottom, designers on this project. And now I am looking overall in this project, there is no, and whatever we select, and it should be showing the for that one. So here please see that the report changed because of our report types. So here we can find what we would like to show and what we would like to see. Branch scope, for example, and this can be also in your portfolio. You are looking the Asia part, and or you are looking to only the construction division, you will see different. And if you are looking at engineering division, please see that directly your histograms will be changed based on maintenance division. The same time in the year, but I am seeing that only the engineering division requirements or maintenance division requirements, and this is dynamic histograms. You can adjust it, and we can get more reports from here, and these are the little bit advanced if you are user of the Asta at the moment. And two more sample will be showing, and then closing the session. And when we are looking at our progress, and let's look at our progress, what we can manage, how we can manage. And in our progress, let's say that I would like to put progress based on my actual man hours, actual effort. And in Asta, you can create the multiple periods, which means that these are the progress periods. And in your other systems, you are having the one data date, and each month you are changing, and to keep the history, you are creating the financial periods, or you are having trouble with it, or you are saving to your project versions. But here in one project, and you can say that you will be using the your which week, you can select your progress periods, week 1 for example, and now we are going to put progress in the plan, and this plan, and we already saw that our modeling types, when we look at our tasks, these are our tasks. The other bars are our resource bars. Here there is holiday. Please see, even the holiday, this is a task calendar looking, and here the resource calendar looking. So here we will be also seeing that task and resource can use different calendars. And if your task following the resource, so based on your resource calendar holidays, your task can be increased or reduced. And now let's look at how we are going to put progress for the first week. Blue line, it's the first week, and actual effort. I can say that 20 hours actually I completed. Okay, and for the second task, actually I don't have the plan, and now I can schedule F9, and it can schedule based on the week 1. Please see that 20 hours will refer to me 50% on my task. At the bottom also we see that. And I can put also progress for the second week. Let's put progress for the multiple weeks, and selecting the second week. Now I am going to put progress for the second week. I am saying that for this task, actually for this resource, I can also open the resources, and I can put, if you have multiple resources, we need to open these allocations. Let's see that these are our resources. Let's highlight them, the green ones and this one as well. Okay, and now what is my actual effort now? Let's say that I completed 40 hours for this resource, and the red line, please see that red highlighted, it means that completed the resource effort, but this will be applied on the task after I reschedule. And now saying that my other resource, and let's say that for this one I completed 12 hours, and when I reschedule now, again F9, and the progress for the second week, and please see that also I am seeing on my task blue line highlighted, it means that my first week, the red one highlighted, it means that my second week. For this task still I have remaining part, and also this is affecting this resource, this activity. We could have baseline, and we can see more. Actually, before getting to these things, I could get baseline to compare more, and after reschedule I can do unlimited undo. Please see now unlimited undo even after I schedule or put in progress. This is the one more advantage. But let's get the one baseline, and let's say that baseline here. Also the red highlighted parts are my baseline. I don't have to show them at the moment. Just for comparison, I'm going to put progress for the week 1. We said that actual effort was 20 hours, and we reschedule. I'm doing the same steps, and after then we selected the second week, and we said that this resource is completed 40 hours, and this resource just to complete it 12 hours. Okay, now I can reschedule. Okay, I was at this point, but with the baseline I can have unlimited baseline, and in your columns you can see the more, like blend, remaining, and so on. And now I can run my also SQL report from the system. I can generate the SQL report based on my resource allocation. And now duration, cost, resource effort, also weightage, and these are enabled to get SQL report. There are more options, but now no needed. If I would like to set up for the specific code assigned tasks, I can do that. And I can look at the specific resource, but at the moment I will be looking for all of them, and I will be creating all used resource types, and from here I can compare with baseline 1, and also I can include the forecast line. I can do this for current project or just a branch what I see, and current view. After you, for example, you can look at your milestones, or you can look at your specific task resource assignments, so you can filter them and you can get report on them. But at the moment, let's look at the branch. And when I would like to get report now, it will be writing report on the Excel. So this is the some way which we can generate report. And now please see that week 1 and week 2, I am always at minus because each week I put less progress. This is for my variance report, and first week I had 13% behind, second week 29%. And this is for the overall, and also we can see this planned, what was the planned and what is the earned. Actually it was planned 26%, but earned it is 13%. So my index is 0.5 because I was working with half performance, right? I put just 50 hours instead of 100 hours. And now I can look at my specific resource. Now I can focus more, and if I use this resource, and for example, landscape architect, and now I see here my resource. Please see that I was showing the calendar, and this is the calendar which your resource doesn't work. And here my planned green line, it is saying that budgeted cost work schedule, and green one, it is from the budgeted. And for this landscape, even I didn't put progress because the progress actual here. I am on this date getting report. It's not this resource what I need. I need this resource because week 1, please see that 50% minus because I put less progress here. What was the plan? 100% week 1, right? And I put to 50%, my variance, it is the 50% and index 0.5. And second week I completed all. And I can get on S-curve. Please see now, this is what I needed. And this one, it is only for the service engineers what I use. And here I have my data date. These highlighted areas are holiday for your resource. And green one, please see that for the first week, I had to complete because I have baseline. And the red one, actually how person, for the first week I completed, right? And the second week, for the first week I completed 50%. Please see that when you go on it, also it is showing. And after this, the rest of it, it is the Excel. Now we generated our report. And here, holiday. And now for the second week, actually, in the plan, 100% had to be completed. But now you completed the second week. This is your variance, right? And this pink one, it is the live. This is the latest forecast part, live. And even we could see for the other resource, we can see also our forecast. This is the for second resource which we were putting, and second week we put the progress. Okay, and now when I see my progress report for this resource which is not completed yet, and here it is showing in my planned green one, it is showing that it had to be complete on this date. In the red one, please see that actual which I completed till my data date. Okay, and this is the live pink one. Why pink? I don't know. We can change the colors, by the way, if you don't like pink. And now this blue one, it is the forecast. It is on the legend, you can read that. And this is the forecast. If you go at this speed, please see now, you will be completing your work rate, which you are going to complete. It will be in this case, and here there will be holiday, and you will be completing here. And actually serious problem when you read this, because maybe you will need to assign other person for these tasks which Hamid assigned. So where you will be going to complete actually 7th on the next month. When what was your plan? It is the 18th. Actually, there are around 12, 25 days difference between these days. And this also reporting type can be customized, and in the report settings also we have, and it can be customized for your requirement with your logo, and it will be your template. And this was what I was today showing, and I completed my time, and I already passed my time. But if you would like also integration with your other systems, one thing I will mention, but today I complete my agenda. This is the agenda plus. And when I look at the one of the project, this is what we do, customization. And this is for capacity planning. What we have here, actually, when we are looking at our portfolio, we have the different programs, and under this we have the different projects. Please see them. And when we are looking to overall, actually simply we are seeing our projects, project status, and also our contractors. For example, these are for project management part, which I am sure that you are already aware of, and you also attended that webinar for the Asta Basics. And now I can also look at my reports, different reports for the resources and the headcounts, number of people. Actually, let's look at the number of people, how I am going to look to my capacities, and in different resources, in different, for example, this is the all skills in the my capacity. Blue line, it is the skills, and the green line, my capacity. And blue line means that it is already assigned, and these are the number of people, how many people. This is for large organizations. And when you are looking to details, please see that, and you can now show for the all details what you have here. And AVI, CIB, this is referring to resource codes. And AVI, for example, let's bring it. And now I am seeing that during this date you will need 35. In the second date you will need 33, 25, 17. But your capacity, please see that now this loaded plan, which means that the blue one, load plan, and the 26, but here required it is a 79. In this project, actually, where it takes, and this is taking from the other system which we made customization, and from the human resource system. And we have extension of the Asta integration. And now when I would like to get a report for the, let's say, April, from the 14th April to 18th or 20th April for 1 week period. And now when this is the, please just don't consider the logos. You can put your any logos, and you can, if you have integration from different systems, from the planner's side or from the human resources side, we can also customize it. And when you would like to get a report, and we can use our Excel, so we can use our Excel to generating the report, and even we can look at our capacity for the specific period. This is for extension of system. It is not out of box, but system allows for the third-party solution integration. This is the most popular topics in lately in the companies, having one system monitoring everything. And now let's say that till the 20th April. And when you would like to get a report now, just to generating this report on your Excel or anywhere on XML formats which you would like to see it. Okay, it is writing now onto Excel. Let's look at on Excel report now. This is generating report for the this on the this Excel. Let's see it. Now it is writing on this Excel. It is a little bit slow running, but it is just writing the data on this Excel. And on first part, please see that here, first part, and we can see on the charts. Let me check on the charts where, okay, for example, for the first part, actually there was no at the plan, so it's not showing, but here, please see that it is fulfilled and still fulfilling. And if you would like to see, please see now how the charts are populating, and our integration is writing on this charts now. So this is the also reporting. This is for the capacity. Actually, this highlighted blue area, it shows that this is your required on Asta how we were showing, and now you are also getting report here. And this is after this you can use the data, because data is coming onto Excel, and from here we can generate more reports. And I will be looking now your questions, and at the same time my histograms can be filled here. And I'm looking to your questions. Oh, not many questions. So everything was understood. Okay, there is question. If we have a bigger project like with 5,000 activities, and it is no problem for Asta 5,000 activity project, can we optimize the resources? Yes, we have types for the optimizing the resource, such as we have line of balance method, and we can also use the resource histograms, as well as we can use the leveling, resource leveling, and these are no problem, and we can manage it in Asta. So only thing we need to know your requirement, and having that we will be having one workshop and we will be managing it. And at the moment, please see that it is loading still at the background. It is showing that this is your capacity, and like in Asta, what was the green and what was the blue, it is showing exactly. And the aim here is just to showing that you can have, please see that also these parts are in the legends, we can read more. And load plan, please see that load plan still loading, and load plan and available capacity. Green one, it is showing the available capacity, and the blue one, it is showing the assigned. So you know your capacity if there are passing, and this is for more dedicated integration with your other systems and getting report on one place. And now please see the charts are how loading from the Asta it is written. Now it is at the moment for the loading of capacity, but it is loading. Here please see that if you are going to analyze the part 2, and it is showing that blue lines, it is the plant, and the green ones, it is showing that your capacity. On the second one, it is now showing also, it is writing here what is your loaded, what is your assigned, and for the different locations. On Excel, capacity also you can use, and the colors also will be indicating your meaning, but data is directly coming from Asta. So doing this manually, it is too hard, and even you can reduce, you can not to select, but for the specific resource type you can select, and you can just analyze them. If you have multiple locations, you can just move. Please see that here you require, and here you have more free, different colors indicating different meanings. So you can move the people, how many people are here, you can move them to other location, because the loaded, it is 13, planners loaded 13, but human resources say that you have 5, you require 8. And on other side, in the other side, you have the 9 available people. Just you can move this. If you can manage the resource if you are using already. And this is the margin where it comes. And in Asta, there is all availability. And thank you for your time. Thank you for attending. Whenever you would like, you can ask any questions. And on our fndsite.com web page, you can follow our other webinars, and you will find our other webinars under the second part. And webinars, you can just to see that Asta Power project, and we have the series A01, 2, 3. We removed the previous ones, but next time we will be showing risks, and also after them beam, and the next steps are coming. Also there are TILOS and project tracker. These are the other webinars, and on our webpage you can find, and on the first and also the trainings, you can look at the trainings, what you can manage and what kind of trainings are available. And also you can look at our LinkedIn group. If you write the Asta Power Project EPPM, so you will be finding, and we have a few groups for Asta Power Project. You can just to attend. Also on YouTube you can watch our videos. And this one is the interesting video from the user and the real case, so we highly recommend for you to watch. And this is me. Okay, thank you for your time again. Have a nice day.